Well, it's a win for House leadership. The GOP-controlled chamber passing their own bill to raise the debt ceiling and limit government spending moving forward. This is a vote that moves the bill to a House floor vote. Even if it does pass, though, among Republicans, the legislation is expected to be dead on arrival in the Democratic-led Senate. Still, the move may give the House Speaker some leverage at the negotiating table with President Biden. Republican Congresswoman Jen Kiggans of Virginia is with me right now. Congressman, thank you for joining us. You know, the bill passed. You posted immediately on Twitter that President Biden should not be holding our economy hostage by refusing to negotiate and allowing our nation to default, that's not an option. So, taking a stand for values is one thing. Refusing to negotiate, that's really pretty much bad no matter the topic. I mean, we teach people that all throughout life. You have to negotiate with people. You have to come together. But do you and other members of the GOP really think that Democrats would allow the nation to default rather than negotiate with Republicans?
I certainly hope not. I certainly hope that the president understands just the gravity of what we did yesterday, and the Republicans were unified, and we passed this Limit, Save, Grow bill, which is going to be wonderful to restoring strength in our economy. We actually have a plan that we've presented now to President Biden. It's his responsibility to come to the table to negotiate with Speaker McCarthy. You know, Americans came out last November and they voted, and we flipped the U.S. House, and there's a Republican majority. And they spoke because they were not happy with the direction of the country. So President Biden and the Democrats need to acknowledge that they have had control for the past 2 years. Republicans have showed up to help balance that power. And now it's time for compromise. We have a plan. We've presented the plan and we've passed it. So now it's the responsibility of President Biden to show up and to compromise with us.
Where is there compromise in your own party? Let's just say that President Biden receives the bill and still says no way. Where is it that Republicans can move an inch forward to keep this from just being another standstill, another stalemate?
Yeah, well, I think all of us are in agreement that we have to raise that debt ceiling. We have to pay that bill, right? It's like any credit card that you have that you've maxed out. You got to pay it, but there's got to be some repercussions going forward. We can't continue this track of wasteful spending that we've seen from the Biden administration over the past 2 years. So that bill that we passed yesterday, yeah, it was a conservative wish list, I think. You know, it was a list of all of our asks, but that's where you start, right? And then two parties come to the table, and we each talk about what our spending priorities are. And we know that we're not going to get everything. The bill wasn't perfect. There were some things in it that I didn't even love, things like wind energy, some of the tax credits for some of the alternative energy in my district. Wind energy has been very important. It's been brought a lot of jobs to my district. It's just been a good economic stimulator. So I was concerned about that section, and I had leadership, meet with me and actually acknowledge that we're going to work on this. The bill is not the final product. There's a lot of tweaking to be done, but it's at least a starting point, and that's what all of us were unified behind yesterday.
And Republican unity certainly is something to cheer about, because we haven't seen that necessarily every day of the past few years. But what sorts of concessions? I mean, when you're a lawmaker, you already know the things that are just absolutely off the table for Democrats in crafting these kinds of bills. So what exactly might be done as a concession for the Democratic Party so that a deal can get done?
Yeah, I'll say the things that we are not touching, and it's very frustrating to see the misinformation out there from the Democratic Party, including our debate on the floor yesterday. So much misinformation. I like to them lies, actually, about what they've been stating Republicans want to cut. We do not want to cut things like Social Security and Medicare, not touching defense spending, not touching things like benefits for veterans. I'm a Navy veteran, married to a Navy veteran, big family of military people, and that's so important to me and the people I represent from the 2nd District. So we absolutely will not be touching those things. The rest is open for discussion. You know, again, it's a perfect wish list of things that we want, but we know we can't have all of those things. And the Democrats need to acknowledge that as well. They've spent 2 years spending taxpayers' money, and they need to acknowledge that they can't have all of those things. Again, Americans came out and spoke last November. They voted for a change in leadership. We are here presenting other options, and we need to sit down and talk about them.
Congresswoman Kiggans, thank you. And as always, to all veterans, thank you for your service. We appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.